About 2 years, I think. Pretty close, yeah. We were here the last time, so I'm sure things have progressed. You had big plans back then, and I'm sure you realized some of them. So we invited you back to give us an update on the trail system. So thank you. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much for having us back. I always appreciate talking about Happy Dragon Trail. And just to kind of remind some of you who didn't know, it was a project started through the Community Foundation of the Lake. One of our mission peers is economic development. And so we started looking at economic development, what we could help to make that happen. You know, we all know that a lot of businesses here have to make it between Memorial Day and Labor Day. So we looked at Northwest Arkansas, kind of similar terrain that we have here, and they have done amazing things doing bicycle trails, and they really focus on bicycles. I mean, obviously you can go down and hike their trails, but they are actually the mountain biking mecca of the world. They hold international bike races there. If you go to their trailheads in their parking lots, you'll see license plates from all over the country. If you look at YouTube channels, you will see international mountain bike, professional mountain bikers there. They hosted 2 years ago the World Cyclocross Championships there. So it generates a 2018 study showed that it generated $51 million a year in revenue to the area, with 27 million of that coming from out of state. I know we have put plenty of money visiting down there. It really has boosted their economy, and it's made it a place where people not only want to go to visit and vacation, but also to live. Obviously, they have Walmart and JB Tyson for their industries there, and they've contributed a lot to that. But it really has made it a place where a lot of people want to go and visit because of the outdoor recreation that's available and the ease of transportation there. So we decided that we would look at that. We hired Progressive Trail Design Company and Lane Shift to come and develop a master plan for us. That master plan started with about 70 miles of trails and greenways. So greenway is more of a road ride, but maybe not necessarily on the road. It may be a 10 to 14 foot paved or asphalt trail off of the road, and it makes it a little safer for bicycle and pedestrian travel. If you're, this is a perfect example out here. If you had a sidewalk, which I know there's not a sidewalk out there, but you will see people walking along 54 here. If you had a sidewalk even and go out there where they're going 45 miles an hour or even 35 miles an hour, and you think you're gonna walk with a little kid on a Strider bike or push a stroller, you don't really feel safe when those cars are coming zooming past you. And we know Camden has an issue with your traffic right now. We'd love to be a part of helping relieve some of that by maybe moving. One of the things that they like to do with trails and greenways is put them behind businesses. And what that actually does for businesses is give them 2 entry points of where people they are accessing the businesses and bringing more people in. And people that actually bike to a business come more frequently than somebody that's coming by car, and they also spend more each trip that they come than people that are traveling by car, which seems kind of crazy that you would spend more because you're having to carry it back on a bike, but that's what studies have shown. So anyway, we looked at that model. We decided that the terrain here is perfect. We obviously have the rocky soil. We've got the hills that mountain bikers want. And if you go to any resort community, biking is something that people want to do when they come visit an area. I actually am getting emails from rest stops and visitor centers on the borders of Missouri asking for pamphlets about the trails here. So we'd like to have more to bring more people into the area. So that's what the project is working on. We kind of, the first 70 miles kind of focus the west side of the Lays Bridge, a little bit in the Osage Beach City Park. And we're developing that, but we also are kind of looking at other areas that we might be able to expand into now, just as things come up. So that's a little bit about the history of it. It really is an economic driver for an area, especially an area that relies on tourism. It felt like.
And as she was alluding to, I started mountain biking back in the 1990s. And so when we moved here, all these wonderful hills and everything, I love being in the woods. That's one of the things that made us start talking about it. I used to drive 5 hours from North Missouri all the way down to Arkansas to go spend a weekend. And it just reminded me so much of how people would travel from all kinds of distance to come here to enjoy the lake and enjoy all the other things around here. We thought, let's try to find something that people can be brought here to enjoy during some of the cooler months. But we also saw how much need there is for family things to do here, where it doesn't cost a lot of money. You don't have to be able to afford a 32-foot boat to be able to go out on the water, that you can take your family out and do things out in the woods that is a lot more simple and a lot less expensive than it is to do some of the fun things that we do here. So the first thing that we started working on was we built a bicycle skills park at the Tri-County YMCA. It's right next to the airport in Osage Beach. And it has wooden features on it that kids and even people like me will enjoy riding. It's got bridges and it's got little serpentine wooden features that you ride. It's all right next to the YMCA and it's open to the public. So anyone can come and use it anytime that they want to, that it's dry. So we built that about 2.5 years ago. We completed it and we still maintain it. We have a nice big shipping container donated to us by Scott's Concrete that we have out there that we store bicycles. And every year we put on a bike, learn how to ride a bike camp there. So there's not a lot of places for little kids to go and learn how to ride a bike in the area because of traffic being busy unless you go to a parking lot somewhere. And also they just need help learning. You remember teaching your kids how to ride a bike or grandkids, and it's a little stressful when you're a kid. It's different when your parent is teaching you to do things. If you have somebody else doing it, we find that it works a lot better. There's no pre-existing frustrations with each other. And it's really fun to watch kids learn how to ride a bike. And so we do that every spring at the YMCA. And so if you know people want to do something fun sometime on a dry day, take them over there to the YMCA. Another thing that we're working on, and we're close to getting a memorandum of understanding signed with the Missouri State Parks, is in conjunction with the Osage Beach City Park, we're wanting to put a small trail that covers part of the city park area and a little bit up into the state park area there. If you're going into the Osage Beach City Park, you see that big hill next to you. We're going to have a trail built up on that ridge. So we're close to getting that memorandum done so that we can build a trail that goes all around there. So when people are there visiting, they can go up and take a little hike too up around that, on the hillside and around that pond. The biggest thing that we've been working on is about 3 years ago, we went and spoke to Matt Denke, part of the Denke family that owned and started Tantera, to see if they would be willing to let us build trails on some of their property in Osage Beach. And they said, yeah, we've wanted to do that for a long time. And so throughout the last couple of years, we've been working on getting that done. We raised enough money that we have been able to pay for Alpha Engineering to do the surveying of it and create the legal description for a trail that is approximately 3 miles long. And that's what we have here on this. It shows where that is. The trail, one side of the trail would be on Nichols Road right next to Osage Beach Elementary. And we already have the bids chosen for building the trailhead there and having the trail go from there so that the kids at Osage Beach Elementary, if they need to burn off some energy, or the teacher said they needed to burn off some energy, they could go out there and have them hike the trail, hopefully bring them back. And then the other side of the trailhead, the other trailhead would be over on Three Seasons Road, which is the road that goes back to Redheads and Shorty Pants and stuff like that. You can drive there, by there, and you can see where the stakes are up for the trailhead there. And so the plan was to connect those two, and so you could park at either side, go all the way over, whatever. And then about 5 months ago, we were like 2 weeks from getting the easement signed. And found out that somebody, even though nobody had shown any interest in any of this property from the Yankees, suddenly decided they had a large sum of money they wanted to spend and bought a piece of it in the middle. Otherwise, we would have already been constructing trail there. So when that happened, we had to wait till that all closed, and now we're at this current time, we have two sections, one that will be by the school and another section that will be approximately 2 miles over on the other side. So a 2 mile trail, if you do it both directions, becomes a 4 mile trail. So it's a nice distance where it's been professionally designed. And so when it's built, it can be really fun for people who like to ride mountain bikes, but also